Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin.
I'm Laura.
And on this spoiler talk, we are spoiler talking season 2 for The Flash.
The Flash.
So that was lightning, by the way. Anyway,
I liked it.
Yeah. So be warned, if you're still catching up with season 2 of The Flash, we are going to spoil everything.
You're going to hear the ending, so don't watch it.
Now, keep in mind, this is an entire, 23 episode season that we're kind of reviewing. I made a list to try to keep up with some of the stuff, but honestly, we're not going to catch everything. So if there's something that we missed, you can go ahead and bring that up in the comments. But if you're going to do that, maybe put a little spoiler alert, like in all caps there, just because,
Don't ruin it for somebody else.
Yeah, they're good shows. We don't want to ruin them, even though we're about to ruin them. Here we go. So The Flash, season 2. First off, I thought overall, season 2, I want to say was better than season 1, but I don't know if better is the right word. It was either just as good as season 1 or a little bit better.
I felt like it was just as good. There's parts I really like, parts I didn't like, and that was the same in season 1.
And keep in mind, saying that, I really love The Flash. So I really loved season 1. I really loved season 2. And there's a lot of really good things in season 2, like watching Barry grow and learn more of his powers. Now, I didn't know that Barry could, grab his own lightning and fling it.
That was pretty cool to learn.
Yeah, that was awesome when they brought Jay Garrick from Earth 2 into this. And he teaches Barry how, as he's running, to catch the own lightning he produces in his run and just, like Zeus, and send it at people. That was pretty slick. And then just playing with things to try to make him run faster throughout the season, where they put the little tachyons in his suit so that he could just run really fast, but they didn't go back to it. It was so cool. They did one episode where it's like he runs even faster than he could ever run before, and then they did an episode where he lost his powers, but never came back to the tachyon thing, and it was weird. I don't know.
He traveled back to season 1 to get the tachyon particle from Wells.
Yes, and it was really cool. It wasn't a particle. Was it? I don't know. It was a thing.
It was whatever was on his suit. It was the blueprints to make it for his suit.
Yes. It was cool, but they could have gone more into it. But that's okay. I can forgive it, because a lot of that stuff was just really cool. The other thing that was really cool was, Cisco becoming...
Cisco's my favorite character.
So, I can't remember. Was it Vibe on Earth 2 as the bad guy?
Yes.
Or was it...
No, Reverb.
Reverb on Earth 2 is the bad guy, and Vibe on Earth 1 is the good guy.
Vibe is Cisco. Our Cisco.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I was just making sure, because there's the Earth 2 Cisco and the Earth 1 Cisco. But anyway, the point is Cisco learning that he has the power of, vibrations, and he can vibe through time and dimensions and actually, see the future a little bit, see what's going on in other dimensions, and get messages through there. Plus, it's Cisco.
He has, this fun sense of humor and can be serious at the same time. You need that person in the show, and he nails it.
It's really cool, like you said, to see him go through those serious moments where he's like, I have powers, what does that mean? And kind of freak out about it. But I like that the show didn't stay on that very long, because sometimes these superhero shows get all soap opera-y, and they can stay on that too long, and they didn't do that with this. I like that it didn't take him very long to start to move over to acceptance, and he still struggled with how powerful he could be, but he at least still came over to the acceptance side of it.
He would at least try.
Yes, and it was really cool to watch him, vibe things. And he made really cool sunglasses.
No, they stole those from Reverb.
He stole some really cool sunglasses from Reverb.
And those glasses helped Cisco focus his powers more.
If you're highly confused right now, I'll just let you know.
Cisco's awesome.
The moment you bring in a multiverse, things get very confusing. It's one of those, you gotta be there to get it.
So watch the show. It's worth it.
It is worth it. It's really good. I liked Caitlin Snow a lot at the beginning of this season. I thought she was really cool. She was getting over Ronnie and all that stuff. But then she meets Jay Garrick and starts to fall in love again. And then you go over to Earth 2 and you find her evil doppelganger, Killer Frost, who was actually also a really cool character that they kept bringing back at a few different places.
I thought her performance was a little stale.
Okay, I could agree with that, yeah.
She had to look different. She had to be monotone, because every point I make has to have so much emphasis, because I'm a killer.
That's true. She did do that
It
thing.
just kind of got old.
I am now a villain, and I didn't do a good impression. You did a better one. Yeah, that's true. Maybe the performance was a little stale, but the
Just a little
character
bit.
was still really cool.
Yes.
And I think,
It didn't deter from the story.
yeah, and I think the actress can grow into that a lot better as things go, you know?
If Killer Frost comes back.
Oh, I'm sure they'll find a way to bring Killer Frost back. I am convinced our Earth 1 Caitlin Snow will gain some type of ice power here eventually. Like, I'm convinced that's gonna happen.
Possibly, yeah.
Yes. Anyway, moving on our list. The Earth 2 Harrison Wells. One of the freaky things about going over to Earth 2 is finding all these doppelgangers. And so at first when they showed us Wells from Earth 2, I was like, oh no. This is like the last season of Smallville when they went into that mirror world and Lionel Luthor was alive.
I forgot about that. That was so bad.
And so, you know, at first I was not on board with this multiverse thing. I mean, I know, it's DC Comics, there's a multiverse. I get it.
There's 52 breaches, because there's 52 worlds.
I get it. I really do. I was not on board at first, and I'm just being honest. But they pulled it off, and I got on board with it and really enjoyed it. And the more I got to know Earth 2 Wells and his daughter Jessie, you know, Jessie Quick, awesome. Anyway, those were just such great characters. And Harrison Wells from Earth 2, I just ended up really liking the guy. And the way he and Cisco, like, worked together and how they were just the duo, that was great.
What was cool about that is it showed the actor's ability to both be the same person and be completely different.
And that was really cool to see.
Because, I mean, in the first season, he wasn't Harrison Wells there. He was
Eobard
Thawne. Yeah,
yes.
was in his body. And so that was, you know, he had to act one way. So then when they get the Earth 2 Harrison Wells, you have this guy who comes from a completely different world, but is still a genius and particle accelerator and all of that stuff still going on over there. But he comes over and he's different, although he's still this incredibly smart genius and still has that same, but he's got like a dry sense of humor and he picks on Cisco a lot. And it's just, but he's so dead serious about his mission while he's there too.
And what's really cool about it is they gave him a good reason at the beginning of the season to start kind of evil. Like, you know, Zoom, the main villain of the season, had captured his daughter Jessie. And so he, you know, was using Jessie as a hostage to get Harrison Wells to do what he wanted, which was to make the Flash get more and more speed so Zoom can steal that speed and be the fastest speedster in all the known multiverse.
Yes.
And so it's interesting because you're watching this guy, like at first he's kind of cold, he's kind of calculated, and he's looking to, you know, do what he needs to do to save his daughter. So it's actually good motivation. It's a good objective. Like you kind of feel that, like, you know, he's trying to be a good dad even though he's doing some bad things. But you get to watch him grow attached to Barry and Cisco and the whole team. And there's just this episode where he put something on Barry's suit, and every time Barry ran, it would slowly siphon the speed force out of Barry. And finally, like, Wells just, it was only one episode, and Wells just, this didn't drag out, and I liked it. He just came clean. He goes, you know what? I'm sorry.
It's my fault.
My fault. I've been doing it. I've been working with Zoom. And it was just so cool, though, to watch that. Like, he owned up to it, and then they were able to work together to try to save Jessie and bring all that stuff together. I don't know. I just like this Wells.
We both hope that Harrison Wells comes back from Earth 2 to Earth 1 and helps out, or, you know, Cisco vibes between the two worlds and gets him in there.
You know, as long as that guy becomes a main character again in season 3, I'll be happy.
Yes.
Because, like, I liked what they did with that character. And next on my list is Patty Spivot.
I liked her.
Yeah, she was only in, like, the first half of the show, but she was, like...
She was Barry's love interest in the first half of the show.
And she was a really good match to Barry.
Yeah.
Like, I thought she was really cool. Then you find out she's got kind of this dark side, that her family was, like, horrendously murdered or something, or her dad or somebody, by a metahuman, so she has this whole prejudice against metahumans, but she likes the Flash. She's cool with the Flash.
She likes Barry, not the Flash.
That's true. And then she gets suspicious that Barry is the Flash.
And so, because Barry won't tell her the truth, she transfers to go further her career, and then he does eventually tell her as she's leaving.
And
just because he's like, you have to understand the reason I let you go is because I can't let you get hurt.
And yet, of all the characters on this show, other than Joe, of all the characters on this show that have found out Barry's identity, I think Patty Spivot would have been the best one to have found it out and known it from the beginning. She would have kept that secret.
And she would have helped him.
Now, I know, he's supposed to end up with Iris. I get it.
Yeah.
But, you know, so was Arrow supposed to end up with the Black Canary, but then we had the whole Felicity thing. So why not bring Patty Spivot in for something a little bit more? Because she was awesome. I was really...
Maybe she'll come back. We'll see.
I was really disappointed that she didn't come back this season. Like, I thought she wasn't being written off. I thought for sure she would be back this season. But no, she got on that train and was
Time will
gone.
tell.
I guess time will tell. I don't know. Zoom was a complicated character. But,
He was a great villain.
oh my gosh. And I really liked what they did with the Reverse Flash in season 1. Like, that was fantastic. But Zoom... Oh, that was a great villain. Like, he had the creepy voice thing going on, and it was always had the blue lightning everywhere.
And the further into the show it went, it became more predictable who he was.
It did.
But at first, we had no idea. And when he first captured Barry and broke his back and...
Oh, my gosh!
Took him around to all the news media saying, look at your precious Flash.
That was such a great scene.
Yeah, that was just...
Oh, I mean, I was mad he did that to Barry, but at the same time, I'm sitting there with my jaw drop watching that, like, that is a super villain. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was awesome. Of course, then the big reveal that he's Jay Garrick, who had been pretending to be the nice guy this entire time and help them and all this stuff. Even had the really cool old Flash helmet acting like he was a hero.
Stole it from a different Flash.
But then we got double whammied. So it turns out that Jay Garrick, who was pretending to be a good guy, who was actually Zoom, wasn't even Jay Garrick. He was Hunter Zolomon. And then it turns out that Jay Garrick is Barry's dad on Earth 3.
Yeah.
Which they revealed that at just the right time.
Right at the end.
Right when they kill Barry's dad.
Oh, right when Zoom killed Barry's
That's
dad.
right. Zoom, not they. Zoom killed Barry's dad.
Which was totally predictable that he was going to die because why would they all of a sudden bring him back?
I guess that's very true. But at the same time, when it happened, like, I don't know. My heart just froze and I just went, no.
And the reaction that Barry Allen did was perfect.
No.
You could feel his pain.
And then they did this really cornball episode where Barry actually went to visit the Speed Force, which is God. I'm sorry. The way they did it, it's God, okay? But they don't want to call him God. They want to call him the Speed Force, taking all these forms that he could talk to. Point is...
Kind of like Indiana Jones 4, the space between spaces.
Yes. You nailed that one. You nailed that.
Another dimension, whatever.
But the cool thing they did out of that whole thing was Barry finding peace with the fact that, you know, at the end of season 1, when he traveled back to save his mom, the other future Barry said, no, don't save your mom. Then the present Barry was strong and didn't save the mom, and time travel, multiple Earths. Yes, it gets very confusing. One of those, you gotta be there moments.
You gotta watch it.
Good show. The point is so you go through all of this where Barry has this acceptance of why he let his mom die and all that, and then you have Zoom kill his dad. Like, that was
he was not a happy man.
That was such a powerful moment. Coming right off Barry feeling invincible because he's on this high, because he now has personally met the Speed Force, and the Speed Force is, like, on his side. So, like...
And he's like, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
Everything's great.
And then this major blow. So it was like this super powerful moment there at the very end of season 2. So this show was like jam-packed with amazing moments like that. My only gripe with season 2, and it's not really a gripe, it's that it had virtually the same plot as season 1. The place...
For the most part,
The place where it was different was the multiverse, right? So they introduced 52 Earths and all that stuff. The place where it was the same... You have a villain trying to get Barry to go faster so the villain can steal Barry's speed for some nefarious purpose.
Same story, just two different outcomes.
It felt close enough that I think I was a little disappointed with that, but they still told the story well enough and got you invested in the characters well enough that it was forgivable. Like, I was able to let that go and go along with the ride and really enjoy it. And, you know, to get me to let go and go with the confusion of there's 52 other Earths out there.
Takes a
and
lot.
There's a Barry's dad over there on Earth 3 that shows up right when Barry's dad on Earth 1 dies. And there's a Caitlin Snow doppelganger and a reverb and a vibe. And
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just, if you were to come in halfway through the show, you would be lost.
You would be lost. So you would really have to start from the beginning and kind of binge it that way. And if you're watching this thinking, oh, I could do spoilers, and you're sitting here really confused, that's why. You have to be there. So really, I thought season 2 was great. I think I'm going to stick with, I liked it a little bit better than season 1. What I didn't like was the ending of season 2, where the last moment,
so disappointing.
Barry goes back and saves his mom from being killed. Now, they've made I know, that should be a great point, but the problem with that is it undoes everything.
Everything
we've come to... Now... Honestly, they're going to bring him back. They have to. They have to do something where he realizes the error in this, and then he goes back and sets it all back right. Like, you know that's going to happen. The question is, how is that going to happen? How complicated is that going to be? What could redeem this for me is what they do with Season 3 and how they tell the story. Because if they are as good as they were with Season 2, it's not going to bother me as much. But right now, as a cliffhanger, it bothers me because we've done so much setup to bring Barry peace about these things, even though we have this dramatic killing of the dad moment. Go back in time and save your dad. Don't go all the way back and ruin everything.
Just did not like how it ended.
Yeah, I didn't like how it ended either, but I think I'm still going to give Season 2 4 out of 5 stars.
I think I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars too. I enjoyed it a lot, and I would probably watch it again when it's on Netflix.
If you saw Season 2 of The Flash, how many stars would you give it? Be sure to let us know in the comments. If you were watching this spoiler talk beyond confused, multiverse, time travel, that's why you're confused. You gotta be there.
And we know we missed a lot, too.
So check out the show. So, yeah, I'm Durbin.
I'm Laura.
Thank you for checking out Durbania.